Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. Well, you're not the type to give me an honest compliment anyway. You'd probably say something more like, not bad for an incompetent fool like you. Cackle. Not bad for an incompetent fool like you. Heh. Now that I've seen what it's like to be a game master, it's pretty clear I wasn't the only one who had it rough each and every game. Creating a game is far from easy. I certainly never expected us to recognize each other's efforts like this. Creating a game is far from easy. I certainly never expected us to recognize each other's efforts like this. All wrong. This isn't Beato. Battler slammed hard on the desk, but the piece Beato showed no reaction. After all, Battler hadn't ordered her to react. It would be easy to revive that Beato as a piece, however it would only move according to Battler's wishes. Having a conversation with it was no different from talking to himself. The Game Master could summon any kind of piece. He could move those pieces in any way he wanted, reigning as an absolute god. However, for that reason, they were just pieces. They made it unbelievably lonely and sad. You created many kinds of furniture, as well as several tales in the past. When I saw that, I was sure you were having a great time doing it. But that's all wrong. You were unbelievably lonely. It must have been such a relief for you having an opponent like me who could actually go against you. Yep, I'm painfully aware of that now. That weird, polite Beato really was you, wasn't she? The way you were 1,000 years ago. And yet, she's a different person. The way she looks just like you is what I really can't get over. I can't stand it. However, she isn't a piece, so she can't go against my will. That Beato is much more alive than a piece like you. Gotta be a mean battler. I get that. But it's all wrong. That isn't you. She's a completely separate person, like a long-lost little sister or something. And that's why I just can't accept her. As much as he hated the peace version of Beato, Battler felt an even stronger dislike for the chick Beato. Even after a whole 1,000 years, she still wouldn't become the original Beato. Even if she were ordered to act like the original Beato, it would just be an imitation. This was a very similar but separate person, and definitely not Beato herself. So, in the previous game, Beato really did disappear for all eternity. Even after becoming the Game Master, there was no way to revive her. Laugh at how pathetic I am. Just give it a rest already. You're just an illusion who won't laugh unless I order it, and who can't even continue to laugh unless I keep on ordering it. Just disappear. Well, that's kind of mean. Yeah, she's not Beato, but she's still her own person. You could just, I don't know, be nice to her and accept her for who and how she is. Really not fair to her on that. On Rokkenjima this day, or rather this round, was the same as any other. The typhoon would be coming very soon. The sky was still overcast, but the clouds were moving quickly. The only thing on Natsui's mind was the plan to cover up Kenzo's absence again this year. Kraus appeared to have suffered a stomachache from the stress and was sleeping in his room. Jessica and Kumasawa had left in a boat to go shopping and greet the incoming relatives on Nijima. The servants had been busy since the early morning preparing for the family conference, the greatest event of the year. Shannon and Cannon were rushing to get the guest house ready. If the relatives are going to stay the night, shouldn't the guest rooms in the mansion be more than enough? Good point. It's a pain to clean up this place too, after all. Even so, I like cleaning the guest house. Yeah, it's nice and quiet without Madame and all the annoying servants. Shannon smiled wryly as she performed a detailed examination of the guest room. Did we forget to clean anything? Do we need to restock anything? She diligently gave the room one final check over. You checked everything thoroughly last night too, didn't you? You really are dedicated. It's days like this that you tend to get pranked. If you're careless, you can never find important things when you need them, and the things that were supposed to be closed turn out to be open. That's because you're too careless. You don't pay attention while you work. I guess that's why you're helping me check. Thanks. There's nothing to thank me for. If you were a bit more alert, I wouldn't have to help at all. Giggle. But you actually just wanted to be with me, right? You're such a kid. That's not it at all. It's all because you've been so ecstatic about George-sama lately. You're messing up so much, I can't let you out of my sight. Giggle. Cannon-kun, let's chat a bit. We can't do that now. We're working. You keep making fun of me and George-sama, but how is it going between you and Jessica-sama? And nothing's going on in particular. If you have the time to talk about that, let's just finish this. Why? Cannon had very obviously been trying to change the subject. Shannon had then snuck up behind him and pushed him down onto the bed. So, why did you turn down my lady when she asked you to go with her to welcome the relatives? Beatrice, the new witch, who was revived from the rules. She has not lived 1,000 years, and her behavior is vastly different from how it once was. She's a witch who doesn't even know how to use magic. She has no fear of magic circles or spiderwebs. It's almost as though she's just a human. She's attached to Battler and makes it her goal to do whatever she can for him. Honestly, very admirable. I believe I've already read all of this. The Endless Sorcerer and the final Game Master. He is the ruler of the game board and the territory lord. To prove that he has won Beato's game, he must act the part of the Game Master. By succeeding in this, his victory will be acknowledged and Beato's game will reach its end. Because he knows all the truth, the plane on which he exists is higher than those of all others. Featherine Augustus Aurora, the majestic witch of theater-going, drama, and spectating. She is tired of life after 1,000 years and constantly repeats a cycle of life and death. In the past, she served as the master for several games as a legendary witch, but her legend, glory, and memory have already disappeared into the past and have been forgotten. Only the solemn medal she wears on her chest contains those memories. The horseshoe-shaped object floating around her head is a memory aid device. It records her name, appearance, and other aspects of her personality. She is so old that she would not be able to preserve her own individuality without this. The final descendant of the Ushiromiya family, 12 years in the future. During her journey to reach Rakanjima while evading pursuers from the Sumadara family, she becomes overwhelmed by a world of an impossible memory. She reached several truths in the previous games and possesses the power to act as an observer. It seems that the witches who hope for the worst for her are great in number, as are those who wish to become her master. Still think Kairi looks like Ivy from Soul Calibur 2, also Kaoru from Evangelion. Because I have work to do, liar. You don't actually have any work at all. Shannon and Cannon had switched roles. Normally Cannon was the one in control, but when it came to romance, it was the opposite. As Shannon had said, Jessica and Cannon were supposed to have been the ones to go greet the relatives at the harbor at Nijime. However, Cannon had suddenly claimed that he had work to do, so Kumasawa had gone instead. Cannon didn't have any work to do. Shannon knew this. Milady told me, despite what happened after the cultural festival, she really does like you, Cannon-kun, even though I'm furniture. That's right. And I'm furniture too. But despite that, you're in love with a human, even though you can't do that. You think so? Maybe we're furniture just because we take that for granted. I don't have any special feelings for Milady Jessica. I only think of her as the daughter of the family we serve. Really? Really? But what? You know, there is a chance that George-sama will propose to me tonight. Exclamation noises. Shannon wore an incredibly peaceful smile on her face, but Cannon could tell that there was no way she'd let him change the subject. Cannon realized that she must have made him help out here in the guest house in order to talk to him about this, and he clicked his tongue softly. You really think you can marry a human even though you're furniture? I think I can. It won't work. Why not? That dream future that George-sama has imagined for you two is something you can never give him. Well, we aren't humans. We're furniture, inferior to them. George-sama only thinks that you're human. Well, that is true, but I'm impressed that you've managed to keep him fooled this long. Do you really think you can keep tricking him like that forever, even though you still haven't been able to tell him that you're furniture? Being furniture or being human has nothing to do with this. I believe that George-sama will accept everything about me. And yet you don't have the courage to check and make sure. You know what? I think I'll accept his proposal. As Shannon looked up at the ceiling, she spoke of the imagined future that she and George would create. Though some anxiety over the future appeared on her face, so did the joy of knowing what it was like to live with love. As Cannon watched this vivid dream he was being shown, he knew that none of his words would reach Shannon anymore. Humph.